Okay, so welcome to your morning yoga. We'll have at least one ball. You can use two potentially if you like. A strap that we might use. Always good to have your props sort of close by. A small block, a big block, or maybe some pillows, some cushions, whatever might feel good. We are starting on our backs this morning. So I always love starting with constructive rest. As you know, it's such a good posture for releasing the hips. You might support behind the back of the head. It's also a nice posture to be able to really arrive in the body, settling the eyes, giving yourself some conscious breaths. Start to witness the whole body. So maybe the shape and position of the limbs, the body resting down and imprinting into the mat. Maybe feeling of clothes. You might notice your energy. You might notice any feelings, sensations that are here as well. And then come back to that conscious breathing, witnessing, acknowledging the breath, the feeling of the body breathing. And as you breathe, can you start to sense and feel where your place of center is? You might find this in the belly, you might find it in the chest. Maybe another place for yourself, wherever it is, bring some awareness to your center. And see if you can feel the breath in this place. Slowly allow the breath to become a little longer so that the inhale and the exhale extend just a little bit, enough so it's still comfortable. You might allow a little bit more breath into the body through that inhale. Beginning to imagine the breath is really expansive, expanding out in all directions away from the body. So that the entire body is being breathed, but also the space all around you, your energetic space that is also you. Breathing into all of this. And when you exhale, imagine that the breath is exhaling right to your place of center so that it's concentrating and culminating into that space, drawing energy to your center. Inhale is expansive, maybe bright and energetic. Exhale, drawing the breath back to the place of center, almost like you're drawing the breath through a straw, breathing it from the front of the torso back towards the spine. Next time you come to an inhale, feel the whole body reach and extend, lengthening arms and maybe interlace fingers and stretch them out, extend the legs. Let this be your full long inhale. And as you exhale, draw the knees in, coming into your chest, giving yourself a little hug. Inhale, stretch the legs, stretch the arms, extending the whole body long. Exhale, draw the knees in. Maybe the nose comes up to the knees. And move like this. So each time you're just extending, reaching, stretching the body out. Exhaling, finding that place of center, drawing the knees in. And one more like that. As the knees come in this time, take a pause. Rest the head down. Hands on either knee and separate the knees apart. Move them away from each other. Together and back in. So those big circles. And then change the direction to rotate around the other way. Next time the knees come in, just place that left foot down. Hands lace maybe behind the back of that right leg and just stretch the leg up, point the toe, and then flex the foot and bend the knee. So a few times pointing and flexing. You can do this without your hands as well if that feels better for you. Just warming into the knee joint, the ankle. And then next time the foot is up to the sky, just point and flex there a couple times. You might notice that your belly is engaged to extend the leg up. And then flex the foot and start circling the foot around. And change the other way. Bend that knee, put the side of the foot onto the opposite thigh, and then maybe lift that leg in, or you can keep the foot on the ground and head side to side a couple times, warming into the bum, the hip, the glute. Unwind that right leg, place the foot down, bent knee, stretch the left leg up, pointing the foot and then flex to lower, bending the knee. Point to reach up and bend the knee to lower. Next time the foot comes up, flex the foot and then start rotating it around. With the leg extended up here, you might feel the core working. And then rotate the foot the other direction. And take that side of the foot and place it on the opposite thigh, knee out to the side of it. Letting the legs rock here, or pick up that right foot and then rock the legs side to side. Just opening up into that left hip a little bit. Soften the jaws. Good. Unwind the legs, both feet to the floor. And then find your block and slide the block in between your thighs. So we'll let the skinny side of the block be there so that you can squeeze the thighs together. Palms just out by your hips face up. Squeezing the knees together. Let the hands come into a gentle fist and notice the belly. Let this be your exhale. Inhale, spread the fingers apart, soften the knees. Exhale, squeeze back in. Inhale, you're softening. So we're waking up the core here. Exhale, squeeze. So notice the core on the exhale, squeezing in the pelvic floor up and in, softening on inhale. A few more like this. Good. From here, squeeze the knees together. Lift the legs up so the knees are over top the hips. The feet at the same height. Reach the arms up like you're holding a big beach ball. Squeeze inner thigh lines and then shift the legs to the right side, lifting the left hip a little bit. Arms to the left. Hold there and then exhale to shift over to the other side. So you're moving side to side, working the oblique muscles. And if you'd like to make this a bit more challenging, when the knees head to the side, you might squeeze them up to the same shoulder, let them move away over the hips as they come through center. Squeeze up to the other shoulder. Another way to make this a bit more challenging is when the legs come over to one side, maybe you straighten the legs, bend the knees to head through center, and then straighten the legs and bend the knees for through center. Good. So listen to your body. Take a break when you need. And we might do one or two more of these, balancing out the sides. And then as you come back through center, remove the block and place the feet down for a moment back to that posture where you have your constructive rest, placing the hands on the belly. And just give yourself a little gentle cough. As you do, feel in between the hip bones and the navel that the belly starts to do a nice contraction. So we want to hold the idea of that contraction as we lift the right leg a tiny bit and slide it long on the mat. So notice how the belly activates, sliding the foot long, and then draw that leg back in. Let's just stay with the right leg. So we're working on stabilizing muscles, stretching that leg out, almost like you're just skirting the foot, the toe, the heel on the mat. Nice and slow. Really paying attention to what's happening in the core. How are the muscles activating in order to keep the pelvis stable? Good. Let's do one more on this right side. Good. Release the right foot, heading to the left side, stretching that leg out. So the foot is really, really close to the ground. You can sort of feel the mat the whole time, stretching, feeling into the belly, active engagement there. Good. Let's do a few more on this left side. Nice. From there, you're lifting your knees back up towards the height of the hips, keeping the feet parallel towards the ground. And then allow the arms to reach up, but hold on to your block and let the block be on the wide side in between your hands. So, option one is to stay with the leg in this position without moving the legs and allow the arms to squeeze together, palms against the side of the block, reaching overhead and back to center. So the movement is in the arms, but you'll notice the belly is still active and engaged. Option two is to just dip one foot down, keeping the knee in the same shape and drawing it back up. And another option is to send the leg long, stretching out as you stretch out the arms behind you. So different options here. Connect to your core, breathe, and move slowly to make this more challenging. You can always come back to the feet being on the floor for a pause, or stable legs, knees over top the hips without moving. Good. So you might do one more each side. And then release the block off to the side. Hold opposite elbows. Place your feet down wide as the mat. And then allow the elbows to head to one side, knees to the other. Inhale to float the limbs through center, and exhale over to the other side. So a nice movement for shoulders and hips. Bit of a stretch. And then we'll release the limbs and come back to that place with the feet either on the floor, having a little pause, or lifting the knees back over top the hips. So from here, we're going to keep the legs really tight and squeezed together. And then you're moving one leg only, hands down beside you. Move super smooth, super small, the right knee out to the side and back to center. So think about the activity into the core again. And this is small little stabilizing movement. So we're keeping it small. Core is active, knee out to the side and back in just a little bit. Good. And then keep the legs together, heading to the left side, out to the side and back in really, really small. Staying aware of what's happening in the core, still breathing. Good. Maybe one more there. And then both feet come down, the heels kind of close to your bottom, knees hip width distance apart. So not the outside edge of your hips, but the hip bones. And then remove the block or support that you might have placed behind your head, little tuck of the chin. Hands down beside your hips to give you some support. Push the feet into the ground, lift the hips up, lengthen the whole front line of the body. And then squeeze the heels like they're kind of squeezing back towards your shoulders, lifting the hips up a little more. Pause, breathe, nice and strong inner thigh lines. And then slowly unwind, lowering back down. We're going to do that 2 more times. So pressing into the feet, lifting up. The knees might push forward as the heels draw back towards your shoulders. Feel into the strength of the whole back line of the body. This is part of your core as well. And then slowly lower down. Good. One more like that. Pressing into the feet. Draw the heels towards your shoulders. You might do a little squeeze into the bum, shifting the hips up towards the sky. Good. Another breath. And exhale, slowly release. Shift your knees over to one side. So we're coming to a side lying position. Use your top arm to press yourself up. Place your elbow underneath your shoulder and either have the knees nice and lightly bent or extend them long or give yourself a little kickstand. So we're coming into our side plank posture. So we'll come up 4 times. Otherwise, you can stay up the whole time if you really want to work on your core, pressing into the lower arm, into the feet, lift the hips up. Maybe the top arm reaches. You can hold and pause here, or maybe you come down and then reach back up. And down. And back up. Good. And one more time down. And this time we'll hold, breathe, staying here nice and strong. Good. Lots of breath. And then we'll roll the torso, keeping sort of upright, roll the torso so that we move into a forearm plank. You might have your knees down, that's fine. Back of the neck aligned with the shoulders, breathing nice and strong. Good, and then lower the knees down, come all the way onto your belly. Let your hands be under the shoulders. Squeeze the elbows in. Tops of the feet press down, shoulders down the back. Lift the chest for your cobra pose. Engage the back line of the body. And then lower down. 2 more like that. Inhale, lift up. And lower down. Good, 1 more, this last one. Elevate up, lift the fingers, wiggle the fingers, and then reach the hands back behind you so the chest is lifted. And then see about maybe reaching those arms forward like a little Superman right in front of you. And then hands back under the shoulders. Use the hands to assist yourself, rolling over to the other side. So you have your forearm underneath your shoulder. Maybe the legs are sort of stacked in little knees, bent, or legs are straight, whatever works for you. Pressing into the feet, lift the hips up. Reach the top arm if that's accessible. And then lower down. And inhale, lift and reach up. And release. Pressing down with the forearm, elevating the hips. Connect to the core. This last one, we'll do a little pause and hold. Hold, breathe. And then once again, slow and controlled, you're moving towards your belly. You can come down into a forearm plank, or you can let your knees come down and come all the way onto your belly. Give yourself another breath. Release the knees if you haven't already, lowering down. This time you're stretching your right arm long, palm face in, left arm down alongside your body. Opposite arm and legs lifting up, right arm, left leg, chest. Exhale to release. So this is our multifidus, part of the deep core muscles. Inhale, elevate. Exhale, release, moving with your breath. So 1 more, right arm, left leg. Slide that right arm alongside your body. Left arm extends up. Changing sides, so left arm, right leg, elevate. And lower down. Connect with your breath. Notice if your mind has wandered off. Come back to that place of center. Got 1 more this side. From here, shift hands under the shoulders, pressing up to your tabletop posture. Support under the knees if you need. Connect to the core. Reach that left arm up towards the sky. Looking at the hand, and then lace the hand through like you're trying to reach over to that right side. Inhale, the reach up. Exhale, lacing through. 1 more like that. Anchor that left hand down. Reaching the right arm up towards the sky. Exhale, lace the right arm underneath the left, reaching over to that left side. 2 more like that. Feeling this in your core as we come into the twist. And then release that hand. Widen the knees quite a bit, and then send the hips back towards the heels. Stretching the arms forward. So a wide child's pose. Letting the hips go back to the heels, getting some opening into the hips. Breathe here. Opening into the shoulders as the arms stretch long. And then you can stay here, or maybe you widen your hands a bit more, tuck your toes, and shift to your downward dog. You might pedal out the feet a little bit. And taking a pause to just breathe and be here, coming back to that place at center. Give yourself one more full body expansive breath, imagining this radiating breath out. Exhaling back to that place of center. And one more inhale. And as you exhale slowly in your own way, bring yourself either into a forward fold or all the way up to standing. If you come to a forward fold, you might do that halfway lift to lengthen. Exhale the fold. Push into the feet, bend the knees, lift and rise, and lift all the way up. Big, big stretch up. Exhale, hands to the heart, and take your time to get to this place. Joining in whenever you're ready. There's no rush. One more lift and reach up. Hands coming to the heart, and send the bum back. Connect to your core here in your chair pose. Breathing. Maybe you give yourself some adjustment into the tailbone, into the hips, and then reach and lift your arms forward. Pause, breathe. Feel that sense of inner leg lines squeezing together without getting any closer. Connecting to your core. Press into the feet. We'll lift that right knee up towards the chest. Pause and hold. And then step that right foot straight back. So we're coming into warrior one stance. So that right foot goes back. Both hips face the front of the mat. You might wiggle over that left foot a little bit. And then bend into that left knee. Allow the arms to reach up. Warrior one. Soft into the shoulders. Front ribs in. Pressing back through that right heel, you might press the hips forward to feel a little stretch more in that front of the right hip. And then elbows come down to goddess. Squeeze them back. Open the front of the chest. And then give yourself a little hug with the arms. You're hugging the arms. Maybe you stay in this nice big hug, or maybe backs of the arms come together, fronts of the arms into your Garudasana, your eagle arms. And then as you exhale, lean yourself forward a little bit. So that front knee stays bent, you're leaning forward, activating into that left glute. Breathe and hold. Pressing down through the back heel. Inhale to straighten up again. Reach the arms all the way back up, straighten the front leg this time. And then exhale, we're folding forward over that front leg. So you might even place a block down the inside edge of the foot if you want. Maybe you keep your hands on the front thigh, staying elevated up. That's an option. Pressing into the front big toe to help with balance. Breathing over that front leg. One more breath. And then walk the hands up the front thigh. Bend back into that front knee. Soften the back knee so you have a bit of ability to move the hips. And then let the hands come to the heart. As you exhale, squeeze into the core, turn towards that left side, and then allow the arms to open. Inhale to come back to center. Two more like that. Connect to the core. Exhale, turning. Good. One more. Nice. Come back to center. Step that back foot forward. You move your block off your mat. Inhale to lift up. We'll come through our vinyasa. Exhale to fold forward. Hands come to the shins. Halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale to fold. Bend the knees, plant the hands, step the feet back to your high plank pose. You can also have the arms down, forearms down or knees down, breathing here. Staying in your plank as long as you like. When you're ready, coming down all the way onto your belly. This time we'll reach the arms out to the side, little awkward cobra arms. So tented fingers, elbows facing up towards the sky, tops of the feet anchor. Inhale to lift the chest, a little nudging into the hands. Strong into the arms, exhale to lower. This time as you come back up, drop that right shoulder and see about looking over the right shoulder. Back to center and down. Lifting up, looking over that left shoulder as you drop the left shoulder down. Back to center and down. Hands under the shoulders, pressing up and back. Widen the knees again. And then shift the hips back to your wide child's pose. Arms extended. See if you can breathe fully into the rib cage and the back of the body, the sides of the body, the front. And then walk the hands over to the right side of the mat, letting the left hip be heavy, breathing into that left side of the body. Inhale, arms come through center, and then exhale over to the other side. Right hip heavy, breathing into the whole right side of the body. Coming back through center, you can stay in your child's pose, or maybe you shift to your downward dog. Pedaling out the feet a little bit if you like, or just being still and breathing and finding that place of center. In downward dog, you're looking towards your feet so that the back of the head can release and let go. On an exhale, when it works for you, nice and slow, you're coming into forward fold or up to standing. Hands might lift towards the shins, the knees, the thighs to halfway rise. Exhale and fold. And then push the feet into the ground, bend the knees, lift and rise up. Big, big reach up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good, another big lift and reach up. Yeah, and one more. This time, keep the arms reaching up towards the sky. Anchor into the feet, and then exhale over to one side. And as you exhale over to this side, pause and hold. So if it's too much for the arms to be like that, maybe the hands go behind your head, maybe you reach one hand down, but just keep yourself over to that side. So connect to the core, breathing here to stay into this lateral bend. Good, one more breath. And then inhale to come up. Exhale over to the other side. Pause and hold. So connect to the core to hold yourself here. Connect into the feet, find that stable foundation. Good, one more breath. Inhale to come back up. Hands come to the heart as that left foot comes up to the chest. Take a pause and hold. Breathe again, connecting to core, connect to center. And then you're stepping that left foot back, all the way back to the back of the mat. Anchor the heel down. Both hips point towards the front of the mat. Bend into that right knee. Arms, they lift up for a warrior one. Soft into the shoulders. And then allow the elbows to open. Opening the front of the chest. You're squeezing the shoulder blades back. Pause, open the front of the chest. And then hug your arms that opposite way. Whatever doesn't feel as natural to hug around. And then maybe the backs of the arms come together or the fronts of the arms. From here, keep the spine nice and tall. So we're not rounding, we're just leaning forward. As you lean forward, Feel how the core has to activate to help assist that right hip working. Good, one more breath. Nice and strong legs pushing to the feet. Unwind the arms. Let the arms come all the way up as you straighten that front leg. And then we're diving forward over the front leg. So the hands might stay at the thigh. You might do sort of like a halfway lower, or maybe you lower over top the leg, bowing the head towards the shin or the knee. Feeling the stretch and the whole back of that front leg. Press into the front big toe, lifting yourself up, walking the hands up that front thigh. Bend back into the front knee. Let the hands come to the heart. So you can bend the back knee and give yourself some mobility for the hips to come into this twist. As you exhale, turning towards that right side, letting the arms open forward and back. And then come back to center. Two more like that. Connect to core. Good, one more. Nice. From here, you'll turn towards the long end of your mat, toes out to the sides of the mat, and sit yourself down. Coming into your goddess pose, yeah. Let the arms come to goddess as well. Good, so we'll take a pause here. Breathe and hold nice and strong. Feel that strength in the body. Connect to core again. And then stretch and reach the arms, maybe a little look up, stretch the legs. Exhale, sit back down. Inhale, reach up. Good. Nice, one more like that. From here, let's let the hands come to the heart and stay seated for a moment. Connect again to the core. So we're really thinking about how the core is engaging in order to move the body through different shapes. The right shoulder heads down to the right knee, and then you lower your torso through center, and the left shoulder towards the left knee, and then you lift up. So it's kind of like a clock, rotating down to the right side, and back up. And then one more time to that right side. So feel into the core the whole time. Good. And then we're heading to the left. Left shoulder to the left knee, rotating down through center. And up. Two more to that left side. Good. When you come back up to center, take a pause, straighten the legs, turn the toes forward a little bit so that the feet are parallel to each other, and then let the hands come to the hips. Lengthen up through the sides of the waist, and then we'll fold forward. You might take your block and have your block forward in between your legs, folding forward. Come to a point that you have a halfway lift posture, and maybe the hands come to a block, and then pause and hold there. Connect to the core again and see how it feels in this posture for your spine, for the back of the legs. Maybe you stay here the whole time, keeping the head in line with the heart. Or you lower down the torso, coming into a deeper forward fold. Breathe here. Doesn't matter where your hands are, give yourself one more breath. And then come back to that halfway lift posture. Turn the toes out to the side, bend the knees. So it's like you're in sort of your goddess pose legs again. Transfer the hands to the thighs, and then push the hands into the thighs to straighten the legs. Reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good. Turn that left foot pointing forward, right foot pointing towards the short end of the mat, and then reach the arms up. Keep the leg straight, but reach towards that right side. Coming into your triangle pose, that right arm comes down, left arm reaches up. Gaze up towards the sky, soften the shoulders, top hand goes behind your back if you like. Good. Push into the feet, lift and rise back up. Release the hands, roll the shoulders forward, up, back and down. Forward, up, back and down. Right foot points towards the long end of the mat. Left foot turns, reaching the arms up. Reach to that left side. Good. Pause and then allow the left arm to go down. Right arm might reach up or behind your back. Your triangle pose. Breathe here. Connect to the core again. So this is all about core. You can feel the core working to hold yourself in this posture. Breathe here, nice and stable and strong. Good, and then push the feet into the ground, come all the way up, release the hands. Let the feet be parallel to each other and then just toe, heel the feet together and give yourself a little shake. Okay. And then we're widening out the legs one more time. Toes coming out to the side. A nice stance that isn't as wide as it was before. Coming into our malasana or our little squat pose. Slowly lower yourself down and you can come to whatever posture works for you. So maybe the forearms rest on the thighs. Maybe you lift the heels in order to come down. Maybe the hands are supporting. Maybe the heels go down. Maybe the hands can come together. So whatever works for you. Don't worry about how long you're here for. We're going to come to our bottoms in a moment. So if you want to come to your bottom, you can do that now. Otherwise, give yourself another breath. Listen to your body. Connect to that inner core. Breathe. Good. And then release the hands, lower yourself down. Nice. We're stretching the legs straight out for a moment and pulling the rumpy bits of the thighs back. Nice, long legs. You can use something under your bum if you like as well. So give yourself a nice tall spine. Turn towards that right side. Let the hands be on either side of that leg and then see about walking your torso over that leg. So the toe and the knee are facing up towards the sky, bowing yourself over that right leg. Walking the hands up. We'll come through center, rotating the torso over to the other leg, and then slowly hinging at the hips to lower down there. Pause and breathe. Soften the jaws. Use the hands to walk yourself up. And then this time we're bringing the bottoms of the feet together, but kind of wide. So the feet aren't super close towards you. You're going to be kind of further away, a big diamond shape. And from here, again, rotating those sit bones back a little bit, we're moving forward. And you might feel this a bit more into the hips with this wider leg stance. It's okay if you don't go very close to your feet or folding down is challenging. Outside edge of the bum cheeks might be where you feel this. Breathe. And then use your hands to walk back up. This time you're going to slide the feet closer in towards you. It's okay if the knees aren't going down very far. I want you to squeeze the inner parts of the feet together. So you're squeezing bottom of the feet together, lengthening up through the spine, and then exhale, fold over. Again, it doesn't matter how far you fold. Squeezing the feet together the whole time. And then walk the hands back up. We'll interlace the fingers, reach the hands up towards the sky. Lengthen up to the sides of the waist and then bow the hands behind the head. Elbows go wide. Inhale, stretch and reach up. Good, and bow down. Think about stretching every part of the arms, reaching up. Good, and then release. Let the hands come to the knees, draw the knees together. Yeah, hands come behind you. And we'll come into this is, you don't have to do this, especially if you've got shoulder stuff. Hands can either point towards your bum or out to the side. Knees are bent. You're pushing into the hands, pushing into the feet. Lift the bum up. Maybe you let the head stay level with the torso. Breathe and hold. Okay if your bum doesn't get very far off the ground. It's okay to not do this if it's a lot for your shoulders. And then slowly lower down. Come all the way onto your back. Draw your knees up and into your chest. Good, and then we'll find that ball. Place the left foot down, right knee out to the side of the foot, going to the left thigh. So our figure 4 posture again. You're going to lift the hips up and place that ball under the right bum cheek. I like to put my left hand under the left bum cheek, and then we're kind of rocking into it. So we want to find the middle part of the bum cheek, the kind of fleshy part. And we don't want to have any pain or a sharp sensation. So if you feel that, then shift the ball around. So we're just leaning into it, rocking into the massage. Drawing your awareness back inside, breathe. Soften the jaws, shift the ball around a little bit, maybe to another spot. If you don't like the massage ball, then you can come back into your figure 4. Shifting the ball, maybe another time, rocking into that massage. Good. Give yourself another 2 breaths on this side. You might move the ball one more time. And then we'll release that right foot down. Release the ball in the hands, coming over to the other side. So the left foot comes to the side of the right knee or thigh, drawing the right hand under the bum cheek if that feels okay, and the ball under the left side, rocking into it. Follow your breath, let the mind rest on the inhale and exhale. Shift the ball around as you need. Soften the face, soften the jaws. Adjust the ball when you feel ready, moving it around to massage those external rotators. We often hold lots of emotion and tension in our glutes. Let yourself breathe into the massage. Give yourself another 2 or 3 breaths here. Good, and then you'll remove the ball and draw the knees back into your chest one more time. And then stretch the legs out long, stretch the hands, maybe interlacing the fingers, wiggling through the hips, pressing the toes and the hands away from each other, stretching through the whole front line of the body. And then let the toes flop open, the arms can come alongside the body, palms reaching up towards the sky if that feels okay. Take a deep, long inhale through the nose, a big sigh. And one more like that. Rest, relax, surrender, and just let go. Slowly allow your breath to deepen. And take a moment to draw your awareness back to your body. You might wiggle fingers and toes. You might give yourself a long stretch or draw your knees into your chest. When you feel ready, roll over to one side, giving yourself a moment of transition. Press yourself up to a seated position with an inner focus and inner gaze. Hands might rest on the thighs or come up to the place of the heart. The invitation is to bow your head towards your heart in a sign of gratitude. Gratitude to yourself for practicing today and for listening to your inner teacher, and gratitude to those who have brought this ancient South Asian wisdom to us. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free. Slowly lift your gaze. Thank you so much for being here today. Bring our hands to our forehead for clarity of thought, to our mouths for purity of speech, to our heart for openness of heart. And we close with the seal of yoga.